Yeah, hello, good day. My name is Prince Yemi Kasali. Today we'll be looking into how to set your trade with Lexo. I've done about two videos on these, and this is the latest update. And as you can see, what am I doing? Okay, let me use this. As you can see, today is 2020. Today is September. Sorry, what am I saying? Today is June 28th, 2025. Okay, so this is the latest asset now on Lexo. Please get this clear. We've done two videos, so discard the other two videos and let's get this update. There isn't much on this review. It's still the same thing, but just introducing one or two things in order to trade perfectly well. You know, as we are learning in the system, as we're doing more in the system, we are also trying to review in order to adjust our trade to have a perfect trade, awesome trade. Okay. That's the reason why that's an advantage for coming late. We have test run the system on your behalf. So the first thing you want to do is to come into your PU social and click on type in Lexo. Okay, Lexo. Okay, so you choose Lexo. So when you choose on Lexo, as you can see, Lexo is a very good guy that is trading perfectly well. Okay. I think the max drawdown just came to 2% just last week. And that is one of the reasons why we are coming in right now to do some reviews. It has always been like 0. It has always been like 0. What do we call it? 0.9 before now. So it made some loss recently and it's made it go to 2 point something percent. Now, if Lexo could go to 2 point something percent and you are going more than 2 point something percent, it simply means you're doing something that Lexo is not doing. So, and the only thing you can do that Lexo is not doing is that the proportion by your capital is different. So that's it. Or you are setting, you are accepting your loss earlier. So those are just the few things that we need to work on when it comes to Lexo. But like I told you, Lexo is unpredictable because of its capital also. You see, it's trading with 12,000 right now. There was a time it was trading with 28,000 and there was a time it was trading with just 10,000. So it's not stable with what it's trading with. So that makes it different. So if you don't know what it's trading with, you might be having issues trading with him also because you need to set your trade so that it can accept his own trade. Okay. So you don't have to do the same trade. That means you don't have to do the same capital with him. You must just be able to accept that you have to trade in proportion of what is trading. So that being said, let's go into it. So the next thing you want to do right now is to click on copy. In order to copy this guy, then here is where the setting comes in. So we want to select the size that we will be using. So the only one to select is a fixed size. You have to fix your size because you have your capital. You know your capital, so you have to fix your size according to your capital. At the beginning, we were using mirror master size, which later Lexo's flexibility of changing its capital could not allow us to mirror his capital. So we are using fixed. Now, there are three types of settings I'll be given. Let me put it to pen so that we can write. Okay, the first setting is going to be the least one I will ever expect anybody to trade with, and that is going to be 0.25. We are talking about the fixed size now. Is it that you put in 0.25, you put in 0. What do we call it? 0.5, and we put in 0. Oh, sorry, we put in 1 for every 5,000. For every 5,000. So if you are somebody that does not want headache at all, you don't want headache at all, you put in 0.25. You don't want headache at all, you put in 0.25. This is The reason is this. In previous video, I was choosing 0.5 as the minimum you could trade with. But recently, Lexo was doing some things that were funny. He was giving us 5 trades, and those 5 trades might go into very serious deep, and it will bring up another 5 trades. And when it brings up another 5 trades, those 5 trades might also go deep. So for our account to be able to contain all the deepness, it is better to be on the safer side. You use 0.25 or max of 0.3. Okay. But if you are average risk taker, you use 0.5. So with that, there's probability of it going deep, but you're not much concerned. You're not much concerned because there's also another settings to battle this. Okay. Then you can use 1 if you're an aggressive trader, especially those who are traders before now, who understands that there's flexibility in the market. So you can do that. That's the major thing here. So I want to put in for somebody who is a very low risk taker, which is 0.5. Okay, 0.25. Yeah. So round up to minimum trading size. Okay. Then copy existing trades. You might not need to copy existing trades. You don't need to. Okay. You don't need to. Then agree. Then you accept, then okay. Max drawdown, yeah. I think it is yes. So max drop down, then you want to set this. This is a very sensitive place also. Number 1, we have the soft, we have the hard. The soft simply means when it gets to that soft, it simply means that it will accept the loss, but it will not accept, it will start trading if Lexo trades again that day, it will start trading. If Lexo trades again on that day, it will start trading. But if it is hard, so far it is hard, it is hard. That means you have met the loss. It will not accept any loss from you again until you come back and reset. If it doesn't come back and reset, it will not, you have to come back and reset this system before you start trading. But with soft stop loss, when it gets there, it cuts it off, it accepts the loss at that percentage. But if there is a new trade from Lexo, it will trade for you. So that's that. Then, so for me, I don't usually put the soft. You might decide to put it as soft or hard. It's your own. But I don't usually put it soft. I want to put in the hard. Okay, so you might not need to type here. If you type here, it will tell you it will not accept 0 from you. So don't type here. So we move to the next one and type, which is the hard. Now, the hard now depends on what you're doing. Okay, you can put in 30% if you're trading 0.25. With that, you're free. Like, before he gets to 30%, that means something terrible must have happened. You understand? Okay, and if you're trading 0.5, you might want to put probably 40 to 50%. So let's say 45%. If you're trading 0.2, 0.5. But if you're trading 1, don't put anything. That means you're a good risk taker. So you want to watch your markets yourself. You don't want to put anything because there's tendency of it going to up to 60% deep before it comes back up. So that's that. So if you're trading one proportion, don't put in stop loss because it might get to your stop loss. Sometimes, from experience, people get to stop loss and they feel like, oh, I have lose. Are you not the one that set it? It is you that said you don't want to go beyond it. So if you don't want to lose at all, you might not even set the stop loss. You understand? But the disadvantage is you might, which is very, very not, might not occur, but at the long run, that means you are setting up your entire capital for loss. That means you're like exposing your entire capital for loss. So instead of you setting stop loss, for this, you might probably be removing, well, if you're trading one proportion, that's what I'm saying, you might probably be removing some of your capital away from this and transfer to another portfolio that is available. So instead of you removing your for adding stop loss for one proportion, and if you're setting 0.5, you might move it to probably between 60 max, but between 40, 50 probably, if you want to accept, like, you don't want entire loss. But at the same time, you might even remove your stop loss also. So it all depends on you. It all depends on you. So, but I want you to understand what stop loss simply means. Stop loss is not the loss. The trader might not lose, but so as I was saying, the trader might not lose. It is you that says that if the floating loss goes to this particular percentage, I want to accept it. I don't want the floating loss to go more than this. I don't want to give myself a lot of headache of having huge floating loss. So I want to accept my loss at this time. But also, you should know that setting a stop loss is like the earlier the stop loss, the more loss you'll be accepting, because there is always going to be the flow of down, up, down, up. So if the earlier you set your stop loss, the earlier you are cutting off your trade. The earlier you are cutting off your trade. So that's my own take on this. So please and please, if you're setting stop loss, no, because I have witnessed a lot of people setting their stop loss at 30, and when it cut it off, they're like, oh, I lose. Lexo traded for me and lost. No, Lexo did not lose. It is you that lost because you accepted your stop loss earlier. You understand? Lexo could have still been in the game and went to probably 50% dip and still come back to profits. So you are the one that accepted your stop loss earlier. So understand this factor of stop loss. So you don't complain when it meets your stop loss, because you have an option of not setting it, but there's also a risk for not setting it. But the risk does not come every now and then, and which is almost impossible unless you're over trading, especially if you are on the lowest proportion of 2.5 and you didn't go ahead and add more trades into your trade to make it bulky. Then I'm not expecting you to even get to 50% stop loss. You understand? Even 30%, you might not get there. You might never get to 30%. You understand stop loss. But so I advise, if you must set a stop loss, you can only set your stop loss for the minimum and the medium trade, which the minimum trade says that you can put in 0.25, and the medium says that you can put in 0.5. So if you are doing 0.25, you can do 30% stop loss. And if you're doing 0.5, you can put in between 40 and 50 stop loss. So that's that for Lexo. So here we will be adding to this, we'll be adding 30% because we are using the minimum. Now, you just put in on the add level, you just put in 30% because in the settings I was doing 0.25. So you do that and you click on the agree. You click on agree and confirm, and that's all. So that's awesome. That's about the settings on Lexo. Thank you very much. God bless you. Emphasis on Lexo. So what are we trading? The lowest we are trading is 0.25, and we have 0.5. Then we have 1 for every 5,000. So what does that mean? If you have 10,000, what do? You multiply either this by 2 or this by 2 or 1 by 2. So if you have 10,000, you're either trading 0.5 or you're trading 1 or you're trading 2, depending on your risk. If you have 15,000, Then you multiply by 3, any of it by 3, depending on your risk level. If you have 20,000, you also multiply by 4, depending on your risk level, and so on and so forth.